Good morning. Happy Monday. Hope you're doing well. Let's kick off a really great week of sales. We got some orders to ship out from the weekend. I'm going to show you everything that I sold over the last 48 hours. So the last time I shipped was Saturday around noontime. We have a total of 22 orders going out the door, eBay and Poshmark. We got no Mercari this weekend. Did have a couple of Amazon sales, but those shipped out. Those were Amazon FBA, so fulfilled by Amazon. So those are items I shipped into Amazon. So Amazon is shipping those out. I don't have to worry about those two, but we do have 22 other items that we got to ship out. So we're going to do that all here on the live. We do this every Monday if this is your first time jumping in. So we'd love to have you come back for another Monday, but 22 orders going, eBay, Poshmark. We got work to do. I'm going to have a sip of coffee. We're going to get rocking and rolling. Hope you had a great weekend too. Man, Saturday was a really slow day of sales. I think I had 5 sales total on Saturday, so I was sort of worried about the weekend. I'm like, come on! But yesterday ripped, so that was really good. It was kind of like a slow burner. It started off with like a couple of good sales in the morning. I think I had 4 before noon, and there was this little lull, and then they just kind of like staggered in the rest of the day. So welcome in. Say hello if you're just popping into the chat. I'd love to hear from you. Chemo is here. He's first. Bacid Coffee second. Chemo somehow third. Got it. Dory is third. We'll count you both. We'll get you both first and third. You're on the podium twice. How about that? And we got Kevin in the house. What's up, Kevin? How are you? How are the weekend at sales? We also hiked, talking about stats for the weekend, we also hiked 9.4 miles over the weekend too. So that was pretty good, which is just a bit more than what we hiked last weekend on 2 hikes. But the hike we did on Saturday was a pretty steep hike. It was definitely a harder hike than either of the hikes that we did last week. So definitely a slight uptick in miles, but a pretty good uptick in terms of work because that was a tough hike on Saturday. What's up? Hey Ray is in the house. Welcome in. Hey, it's the duck. Thrifty Duckies is in the house. What's up? First on IG. I love it. I love it. Thanks for popping in and saying hello. Hope everybody had a great weekend. We got work to do, and I hope we're kicking off a good week together. If you got questions, drop them down below in the chat. We'll get back to all those. If you're watching live, I'd love to hear from you. If you're watching the recording, I'd love to hear from you too. So both YouTube and Facebook, these are available as a recording as soon as I turn off this live. You can rewatch it, you can fast forward it, you can do all that stuff. So if you're out there working, if you're outsourcing and thrifting right now, if you're wrangling the kids, whatever you're doing, you can rewatch these on YouTube and Facebook. And if you're rewatching, write SHIP, SHIP down below in the chat if you're watching the recording. That way I know you're watching. I get back to all those questions and comments too if you're watching the recording. So, but we are live Monday morning, 11:14 a.m. Eastern time, local time here in Asheville, North Carolina. Hey, good sales weekend. I hope you're talking about your sales weekend, Shetty. I hope that was a good weekend for you. That's awesome. I'd love to hear more about it too. Only had 2 sales during the weekend. It was so damn bad doing Amazon and Target pallets lately instead of clothing. Interesting. I'd like to hear more about how you're doing with those pallets. Sorry, it wasn't a great weekend. Hopefully things pick up for you today. How do you price new without tags, polo, long sleeve, plaid, regular cotton shirts? I would, Kathy, I would just look at what the market is for similar shirts on eBay. If yours is new without tags, you could look at other ones that are also new without tags, or you can compare. You can just price below all the new with tags. So find similar ones that are new with tags and price yours just below that. Because if people are going to buy it new without tags, they're going to want to get a little bit of a deal for it, because otherwise they'll just buy the ones new with tags if you price them the same. So I'd just drop a little bit below them. That would be my thought process. Just got back from the post office, dropped off weekend orders. Nice. You're on a roll. You're like up and after it today. I like it. Hooray. It's Herral. Sorry, Herral. I saw that the I looked like, or the L looked like an I. My bad on that. Good morning, Nifty coming through once again. 5 more Poshmark sales. Mercari got to pick up the pace though. Yeah, if we're waiting for Mercari to pick up the pace, we might be waiting quite some time. I'm kind of pessimistic. I'm kind of what is it? Bearish on Mercari, if you will. But I'm glad you had a good Poshmark weekend. Glad Nifty's helping you out with that too. That's awesome. I had a pretty good Poshmark weekend too. Let's get into it. Well, you let me know. What are we going to ship first, eBay or Poshmark? We're going to ship all of it, but let me know where we're going to start. You're the boss for just one moment. You can tell me what to do. So just write down below in the chat, right? Either eBay or Poshmark, and we'll get ripping. As I said, no Mercari this weekend, and we did have 2 Amazon, but they were Amazon FBA, which means Amazon is shipping those, so I don't have to worry about it. Let me get these eBay labels printed out here. Nick Smith is in the house from Charlotte Airport. What you doing in North Carolina, brother? You here for work? You know, you're barely 2 hours away from me. Just a really annoying ride down 85 to 74 to 26, and you could come out and visit. Come out to the mountains. Let's see. Hurrah says we're gonna start with eBay. You got it. You got it. Kelsey's in the house. What's up, Kelsey? Hope you had if you're still in the live, I hope you had a nice weekend up there in Boone. We had some cooler temperatures. I'm sure you had even cooler temperatures a little higher up the mountain there. We had highs in the upper like mid to upper 70s, which was great. And we had a lot of kind of overcast weather. It was like, I'd say mostly cloudy would be a good way to describe the weekend. But when you're out hiking, that's awesome weather. We tried to hike up at a place called Sam Knob, which is right next to Black Balsam, same parking area. And it's at 6,000 feet up there. So when we parked, the parking lot's a little lower than 6, but when we parked, we were just like in a cloud. We were like waiting for the rain to clear, but we're like, the rain's not going to clear. The parking lot is just like up in the clouds at that point. So we ended up dropping down to lower elevation, and we did a different hike, and we got down below the clouds and got us a nice hike in. So we got us a nice hike in on Saturday too. Yeah, it's chilly today. I'm ready for it. Yeah, me too. I miss Boone a lot during the summer times. I'm jealous of your temperatures that are like 4 or 5 degrees cooler than ours. On our way home from St. Lucia vacation, that's awesome, man. You got to share a picture from St. Lucia. I love that. 20 orders going out, a Ninja blender, Microsoft 98 joystick. Wow, you got some cool stuff in there. Awesome. Love that weekend. My wife asked if we should visit. I think you should. Come on up to the mountains. It's actually a beautiful sunny day up here. A lot of blue skies, a couple of clouds passing through. And I think our temperatures right now are in the 60s, which is really awesome. Really, really awesome. All right, let's get rolling. We got eBay. We got work to do. Keep the questions coming in. Love hearing about what's going on in your business, but I'm going to work too. So I'm going to bounce back and forth between reading your stuff and doing my work. Our first order is going out the door, and these are actually in chronological order. So this is the first order that came in Saturday afternoon after I shipped. We got a pair of Levi's corduroys. Boy, this buyer went back and forth on me. And I had these listed at $26.99. I think he started his first offer was like $15, and then he kept coming up. I went down to $23.99 and I stayed at $23.99. So he was like at 15, I countered $23.99. He went up to 18, I countered $23.99. He went up to 20, I countered $23.99. He went up to 23, and I countered $23.99. He finally accepted $23.99. He got the point. Thank you, Grant, for the fun negotiation. Everybody wins. You got a good price. Levi's corduroys are a great pickup, new or used. So $23.99 on these. Levi's 502, which isn't a super common Levi's number that I find. I'll tell you how long these took to sell. Those took 45 days to sell, so just about a month and a half. And this is about the time when you expect like corduroy pants to really start going. Y'all, we have so many pants that we're shipping out today. It is crazy. This is going to be like a pants record kind of day. This is the most fall weekend that I've had in terms of sales. We've been seeing it shift pretty strongly towards fall sales, but this weekend's ridiculous. The sales that you're going to see today are so many pants. It is insane. We got a couple of pairs of corduroys, jeans, work pants. I mean, it is hiking pants, biking pants, you name it. We got pants. If you need bottoms, we got bottoms for you. Thank you, Grant. These are going up to Altoona, Pennsylvania. And I paid $5 for these at the thrift store. So after fees, my fees on these will be about $4. So made about $15 profit on these. I might have made like a buck or two on shipping. Let's see what happened with that too. Yeah, I made $2 off the shipping too. So ended up making $17 in change off this pair of corduroys. So 45 days to sell. Those sold on eBay. What is up? Good to see you, my man. The man, Stan the man, the ginger man is in the house. What's up, dude? How are things? How are sales? Vacation 100% paid for by used men's clothing. That's what we're talking about. I love it. How are you? How are you? The ginger man is in the house. I sold 5 Tommy Bahama silk shirts on vacation, including the one I was wearing. What? That's wild. I had an offer yesterday on a Tommy Bahama silk shirt, but I wasn't able to land the plane. How much are eBay? How much are the eBay poly bags? They're too much. The only way that I get the eBay poly bags, Geraldo, is with my quarterly coupon. I get a $50 quarterly coupon from eBay for eBay shipping supplies. That's the only time I buy eBay shipping supplies. I don't pay for them. They're way overpriced. I wouldn't suggest getting them unless you have that coupon. Then go ahead and get them. That makes, as long as they're free. But boy, they are overpriced. Next up is an order for Joe. This is a FootJoy. How long did this take to sell? This took 148 days to sell. So what's that? 5 months. 5 months to sell. I had just marked these down. I marked down a whole bunch of items, especially summertime items. I marked them down just this past week, like maybe, what day was that? Wednesday, Thursday? I went through and just did deep markdowns. I used Nifty to do it, so that I marked them down, the prices on all the platforms, not just like a sale on eBay. I marked it down across all platforms. So $13.99 for this FootJoy. So I was trying to get rid of like older items, like get them discounted pretty heavily, and stuff that's like mediocre sell-through rate summer stuff, like FootJoy golf polos, trying to get rid of those. So $13.99, not great profit there, but I'm happy to get rid of this so I don't have to hang on to it till next March. I did do okay this summer on FootJoy, especially if I priced them like just under $20. They sold pretty well for me, but this one didn't go. It's a men's size large. I thought a nice kind of pattern. It's like a modern one too, but anyway, $13.99. It's out the door. Next sale I like a lot. I think you're gonna like a lot too. We're just getting started. If you're rolling in, this is our second order going out the door on eBay. We also have Poshmark. We got 22 items going out the door from the last 2 days, so I guess 11 a day. Not too bad, but I'd really want Monday mornings to be 30 orders from the last 2 days. I shipped again Saturday. I always ship Saturday around noontime, but so you're looking at like most of the weekend orders anyway. But I like that number to be 30, and especially as we get into this fall time, we should start hitting that 30 number. But 22 today, we'll take it. We got an order going out the door for Jimmy. I love this order right here. Let's see how fast this sold. Yeah, this sold in 1 day. 1 day. People give me a hard time for buying and selling Joseph A. Banks. Where's the logo? There it is. Joseph A. Bank right there. This one, I don't know if you can see the pattern. It's a blue plaid pattern, which sells really, really well for me and a lot of brands. But I find a ton of Joseph A. Banks with this blue plaid pattern. This is our first Nifty best offer sale of the day too. So $31.50. This was on a Nifty best offer. So Jimmy came in and watched this item on eBay. 10 minutes later, Nifty, my cross lister, automatically sent a 10% off offer for $31.50. And Jimmy accepted that offer. So I love that. Every single day, Nifty gets me extra sales just from that auto offer option, which I have turned on. You can set it to whatever percentage off you want. I have mine set so it sends an offer 10 minutes after the person watches the item on eBay, or 10 minutes after they like the item on Poshmark or Mercari. So $31.50. It took 1 day to sell. I paid $7 for this at a thrift store, which is awesome. Joseph A. Banks, men's size 43L. It's a wool, but the key is that pattern. Joseph A. Banks, it's pattern. And right now, like blue plaid or blue check is just such a hot in-style thing. And with Joseph A. Banks, you're looking for the, with any suit right now, you're mostly looking for the thin lapels, not like those big wide lapels, but modern style, modern pattern. Joseph A. Banks, $31.50 all day. I can get as much as $40. Last week I sold one for $40 that we shipped out on this live. It was a modern pattern, and the buyer pays $9.95 shipping on this. So after my fees will be $31. Let's see, I got $31.50 plus shipping. So my fees on this are going to be about $6. So that's going to leave me with $25.50. I'm going to make $3 on shipping too, which is nice. So that leaves me with $28.50. I paid $7. I'm going to make $21.50 off this blazer, and I had it listed for 1 day. That's it. Pretty good. Listed it on Friday. It sold on Saturday. How do you beat that? What's up? Cohen is in the house. Good to see you the other day, Cohen. Good to see you the other day. I like what you got going on in the facial hair. If I might say, I already told you that, but I'll tell you that again. You have great audio on your live. Thanks. We have a bunch of sound panels kind of all over this room. Otherwise, it's an echo chamber in here. So, but that's probably what's contributing to the audio quality. Bargain Brothers in Knoxville sells liquidation pallets local, and they don't dig through pallets before selling to the customers. Bargain Brothers, Knoxville. Let me write that down. Have you bought anything from them, Bass and Coffee? Bargain Brothers, Knoxville. Have you bought anything from them? Do they ship? Do they give you, my biggest question whenever it's like pallets, are they giving you a manifest? So are they telling you exactly what's in that pallet? Like, are they telling you like what the brands are, what the size is, what the condition is? Is it manifested? I'm not really looking for unmanifested pallets, to be honest with you, because I don't trust that kind of stuff, but sounds like you trust them. Have you bought from them before? Appreciate the lead. All right. And so we talked about that nifty best offer. I'm going to go ahead and drop a link to nifty right there below in the chat. If you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, you'll see that link. That is a free trial link to Nifty. That's the tool that I use to cross list. That's why I have sales both on eBay and Poshmark today, and why I have sales on eBay and Poshmark every single day. It's also that auto offer tool. All those automation tools are so big and really help my business every day. Extra sales from those auto offers, including that Joseph A. Banks blazer. We have at least 3 more auto offer sales. So sales that I wouldn't have otherwise had if I didn't have Nifty sending out those auto offers. We got an order going to Sarasota, Florida to OE. This shirt sold in just a matter of a couple hours. And this was on a best offer. So Patagonia, that's a vintage Patagonia tag. This is one of those like super, super lightweight shirts. So organic cotton and just like as light as it can possibly be. In the item title, I put vintage Patagonia, ultralight organic cotton, blah, 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 blah. But ultralight being the key here. I've sold a lot of the same exact model shirt. It kind of looks like an old dated style, and but they sell good for me. $18.99, quick sale. I think I had it listed at like $21.99, so I'm happy to get a quick sale at $18.99. And that was at like on a real best offer. That person actually started their offer at $10. So usually when people give me less than 50% off offers, I don't usually land those deals. Like they don't, usually it's just like a low baller is a low baller. And if they can't get it at their, 50 or 60% off, they go away. But this person came up to $18.99 on my counter. So whatever. This sold in just a couple hours. So listed this on Saturday and it sold while we were out on that hike Saturday afternoon. So I like that. I like getting off the trail to notifications of sales. Next up is a pair. We got a lot of Carhartt going out today. This is kind of wild. So first up, Carhartt shorts. I just marked these down the other day, and this was actually a nifty best offer also. So I had these listed at $19.99. I lowered the price. These are ripstop cargo shorts from Carhartt. I paid $5 for them at a thrift store, and these sold for $18 on a nifty best offer right there. So another example of Nifty making me extra money every freaking single day. I love that freaking program. If you're a fan of Nifty, you can let people know down below in the chat. Let people know what you like about it. It is crazy good. And that link that I dropped below in the chat, that'll get you a free trial for 7 days. It'll get you 15% off your first month if you decide to sign up. But it is a no commitment free trial. So you can just check it out. You can see how it works. You can see how it impacts your sales or not. I think it will. I think you'll see extra sales in your first 7 days. That's why most people end up doing the trial and then sign up and pay for it, because they see extra sales. That's the whole goal, right? Nifty is a business tool. It's a business solution. It's supposed to help you grow your business. And for me, it definitely does. And a lot of the feedback we've got from people who have signed up through our link. have said the same exact thing. So if you're on Instagram, that link isn't below in the chat, but all you have to do is go to my profile and you'll just tap the link that says Nifty and you'll get that same 7-day trial and 15% off your first month. You cannot beat that program. Some of you might use other cross-listing tools. I've used those too. My switch to Nifty 16 months ago was just such a giant change for my business. Like so many mistakes that my other cross-listers made, Nifty found and has eliminated. And yeah, that just like lowers my blood pressure. I don't have to worry about when items sell on like eBay or Poshmark. I don't have to worry about if it's going to delist them properly on the other platforms. It just does it. It does it automatically. It does it when I'm in my sleep. So it's just like turned a lot of things into like, I just don't have to worry about them. I don't have to send offers anymore. I don't have to delist items when they sell. It's just been great. In addition to like saving me time and saving me stress, it makes me money every single month, which is crazy. A lot of money. So a pair of Brooks Brothers jeans, these sold pretty quickly too. These sold for a best offer, but a human best offer. I went back and forth with this buyer. These took 32 days to sell, men's size 33 by 32 Brooks Brothers jeans. I don't find them a lot, but I actually just found a pair like a week and a half ago too. So these ones took 32 days to sell, $22.99. I paid $5 at a thrift store. Yes, they are in used condition. A lot of pants and jeans, I'm telling you. These are going to Jose. No. These are going to Jonathan. Don't mess up the shipping labels, Chris. Don't do it. Going to Jonathan. Where's Jonathan? Jonathan's in Westminster, South Carolina. So these aren't going very far. Just going south of the border. So profit on these will be about, let's see, $22.99. The buyer paid $8.95 shipping. Shipping's only costing me $6, so that's going to make me $3 on the shipping label. So we'll take that. So 23. My fees are going to be about, we'll just call it $4, so that'll make it $18.99. Plus the 2 is $20.99. I'm going to make $16 off this pair of jeans, including making a few bucks off the shipping. So not bad. And they took 32 days to sell. A $5 thrift store find. I like that. Next up is Evan Carhartt. Sold a lot of Carhartt this weekend. Kind of like a record-breaking Carhartt weekend. Check these out. Carhartt. These are the carpenter pants. I do much better with carpenter than like regular. So they have like the, they have the hammer loop or the carpenter loop, utility pockets, all that kind of stuff. These I do really well with. The key with Carhartt, and you don't have to know, you can know nothing about Carhartt, literally not one thing. And some of you out there might not know much about this brand at all. All you have to do is look at the tag on the inside, and there's going to be a number on them. I'm going to show you this. I'm going to do a shared screen real quick and show you exactly what I'm talking about. One sec here. All right, let's share this screen. A little teachable moment here. So here are the pants in question. So you can see they have the carpenter loops on both sides right there, utility pockets, right? Just standard issue Carhartt. I think these even had like a little blemish. Yeah, see the little spot right there? I pointed that out, a couple little spots. So these sold for $32.99, even with those spots. But what you want to look for is, see this tag right here? Every Carhartt, unless somebody ripped them out, has this tag. And see how it says B159? All you have to do if you want to look up comps for this item and see, is this one worth picking up? Because not all Carhartt's worth picking up. If you want to see if this one's worth picking up, you just search for B159. So we'll just do that on eBay right now. I'm just going to look up Carhartt B1. You can see I already did it. I already searched for it. That's how I comp these. So Carhartt B159 pants. There's 375 of these currently listed on eBay, and you can see their listing prices. We're going to go ahead and look at sold ones. There's 180. So we're talking about a 50% sell-through rate. That sell-through rate is going to go up because we're heading into the fall. Remember, when you're looking at solds, you're looking at historical last 90 days. Well, last 90 days has been all summer. So Carhartt pants aren't going to sell as well in the summer, but they're going to sell better in the fall. So it is a 50% sell-through rate now, but probably going to be more like a 65% sell-through rate once we get into the middle of the fall. And We can see there's a whole range of prices, a lot of like 20, 25, 35, 29, right? And these are actual sale prices from eBay of the same exact model in pre-owned condition. So 50% sell-through rate. I'd say an average sale price of around $26, $27. I listed mine for $32.99. Even with a flaw, they sold for full asking price, $32.99. So again, just look at that tag, and that tag is all you have to search for. Just look at that tag. Uh, I don't think I saw any padded envelopes on your list of shipping supplies. How do you ship one package of coffee? Um, I use, I don't use, I just link stuff that I use mostly for like eBay and Poshmark, but I have a small little padded poly mailer that I use for that. But I don't use these for eBay too often because I ship clothing, so I don't really need padded envelopes for that. I order those. Where do I order those from? I'm not even sure. Do I order those from Uline? I order them in like a huge big box for the coffee sales, but I don't think I have a link to those because I don't use padded for like eBay or Poshmark or anything. Kayla's in the house. I appreciate all the positive energy. Thanks for coming in here and dropping positive vibes. I appreciate that. That means a lot. There's a lot of crazy humans on the internet that leave a lot of different vibes on my page. So I appreciate when somebody takes the time to come in and leave some positive vibes. Kayla, I see you in the comments a lot and stuff too. And I appreciate that. Good to see you in the live. Thanks for popping in. If I missed you, I'm sorry. Looks like I got backed up on chat. Yes. I'm a part-time. I'm on 4 minutes behind on chat. That's not too bad. I'm a part-time seller and I make a little over $1,000 a month. Sweet. Do you suggest I start the cross listing $40 a month on Nifty or automation $30 a month? So you're selling you make a little over 1,000 a month. Tony, can you give me some more stats that'll help me out? How many total items do you have listed right now on eBay? And I'm guessing you're on eBay right now and not selling. So let me know what platforms do you sell on and how many total listings do you have? And also tell me how many you list every week. So kind of 3 questions. Where do you sell? How many total listings and how many new listings do you add every week? That will help me answer your question about which Nifty subscription to consider. What do you promote your listings at? 6%. Is there any drawbacks on selling worldwide on eBay? I only have listing USA offer. I don't think that there's any drawbacks. Maybe somebody else in the comments could share like a con to it, but I think it's all pros. You just get more buyers, and all you do is you ship the item to, I think it's in Glendale Heights, Illinois, and eBay takes care of the rest of the deal. So I don't know that there's any drawbacks, but maybe somebody can let me know about what a con is. But I've sold internationally for let's see, I'm on 7 years, for more than 6 years. I've sold internationally on eBay. They had a different program years ago, and I was on that one too. I've also sold a lot like direct international. So I ship through Pirate Ship internationally too. But yeah, I wouldn't be scared of international. It's easy. Good morning, Deb. How are you? Yes, I bought a pallet and some mystery boxes. They do not ship, no manifest. You can leave the pallet behind. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about like mystery boxes and pallets that aren't manifested. Are you doing well with them? It's just really not my thing. I want to buy. I want to buy what I want to buy. That's kind of my thing. I don't mind picking stuff up, but if I have to pick up a pallet, I don't really have a car to pick up a pallet. I would need them to ship. Why don't they ship pallets? What kind of operation is this? It's so easy to ship a pallet. You just get a freight company from Knoxville to here would be like a couple $100 maybe. I could probably buy 2 pallets and get them delivered here for like $250. I don't know why they wouldn't ship. Yeah, I just like manifested stuff. I don't want to buy just random stuff and hope to get lucky. That's kind of not my vibe. I know people like that. They like the mystery. They like digging through. I like buying what I want to buy. Certain weight and items you can't list internationally, but it's worth it in my option. I sold a vintage $120 USA Levi's pants to a guy in Ireland. There you go. Awesome, Tony. Thanks for sharing your insight on the international. I don't use on the Carhartt. Adam, I'm sorry. I don't think I understand your comment. I tried. Maybe you can type that again and maybe I'll get you. Good morning. Trying to get motivation to list fourth quarter's cup. Yeah. I mean, this is it. This is the time. If you're not listing now, when are you listing? We're about to get really busy. So Nancy, get to it. No more excuses. I'm sick of it. Stop watching. Go do some work. There's your motivation. Get to it. You're welcome, Tara. On the Carhartt, you comped the selling prices at 26. You choose to put 32. As I scrolled through, there were sold prices as high as $35, Adam, as I was going through. So hopefully that answers your question. Next time we are in the area, we'll come visit you and Kim. I would love that, Nick. That's awesome. Lilux Key. I want to start selling on eBay. Any guide for a starter? I don't know. I mean, if you have specific questions, let me know what your questions are, low key. But I would start with items that you have in your closet that no longer fit or that you no longer wear, and just start with that. Right, get a hang of it with items that you're not going out and spending money on, and then you'll get used to the process of listing. You'll get used to the process of shipping and all that stuff. There's a ton of YouTube content out there about how to ship your first eBay item or how to put up your first listing. There's a ton of that. So if you're letting like information hold you back in the information age, don't do it. Just go to YouTube and search for whatever questions you have. There's going to be a video that's going to show you exactly step by step whatever that you're struggling with. But start with stuff that's in your closet that you're no longer wearing. There's probably a whole bunch of money sitting in your closet that you'd probably donate or throw away or give away or whatever. Start listing that stuff on eBay. Start learning the ropes. And as you have questions, you can feel free to come back here and ask those questions. We put out content every single day. Typically, we're putting out 5 to 6 pieces of content every single day, if not more. So you can comment on any of those videos or, photo post or whatever. But thanks for being here, Loki. Good luck as you're getting started. Love to hear that. A little over 300 listings, and I'm already doing the cross listing subscription only. Okay, so you already have the cross listing subscription only for Nifty. I want to know if I should have done something else as I'm now growing my business, grabbing better STR items. Yeah. So to me, like, I think, at the 300 units level, and you're already cross listing. So at 300 units, to me, oh wait, who am I? I'm answering 2 questions at once. Hold on. Let me see. I want to make sure I'm not crossing streams here. Let me go back here. So Tony is the part-time seller. Sorry, just scrolling up the list, making sure I get the same person. So Tony, you got over 300. Yeah. So I would recommend the Nifty subscription level at $69.99. So you're going to get automation and you're going to get cross listing for $69.99. The reason I suggest that, you might be like, wow, it's like a lot of money. Whew, like, how am I going to pay $69.99 right now? Sounds like you're on the $39.99 program. So you're like, why do I want to spend like an extra $30? The reason is the automation tools are going to make you that extra profit to pay for that extra $30. It'll probably do that in the first week, because it's going to be sending out auto offers as long as you turn those on, which you absolutely should, and it should pay for itself. For me, with 1,500 listings, Nifty pays for itself either on the first or the second day of the month, every single month, in just extra profits. I'm not talking about extra sales. I'm talking about extra profits from just the auto offers that get sent out. I make, it pays for the whole subscription, the $70 for the entire month. So that's why it's one of those things, like, spend money to make money. And it's going to turn, your store is just going to churn because you have those automation tools going. It's going to be sharing items on Poshmark constantly all day, which means you're going to get to top of searches. It's going to delist and relist your stale listings constantly on eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari and Depop. So again, that those items show up higher in search results. So it's going to make you money and it's going to save you time. So to me, I would go ahead and I would jump up at 300 listings. It's time, $69.99, get automation and get the cross listing, get the whole deal. And what comes with that, by the way, is the AI. You can get the AI too, and that'll save you some time too. So I'm going to go ahead and drop that Nifty link down below since we're talking about it. Try it for free for 7 days. I know, Tony, you're already on it, but you can always turn on the automation, or you can go up to the $69.99. You can do it for a month, and you can realize, you know what? I don't like it. I don't think you'll say that, but you'll say, I don't like it. Just drop back down to the $49.99. So the only thing you're risking is $30. And trust me, I'd say within the first week, you'll probably get enough sales, enough profit from extra sales from that auto offer feature that is going to pay for that extra $30 in the first week. And then the next 3 weeks, you're going to be chilling. It's all going to be free, right? Scott sells on eBay and Poshmark. Use Nifty as well. Are you running into issues with Poshmark when you delist an item that sells on eBay, selling 8 to 10 items a day on eBay? Nice. Sounds like you got a nice little business going on over there, Scott. I like it. No, I had one of those, like, I got like banned for 10 minutes or something back in like May, whenever they first launched this new initiative or whatever. And I just emailed them and they lifted my ban like automatically. I think it was AI that banned me, and I think it was AI that unbanned me. So, and I haven't had an issue since then. I think they've relaxed whatever they their algorithm on whatever they were looking for there. What did I miss here? I don't think I missed anything. Cool, Tony. My business is paying $80 a month right now for the system I use. Process my listings each month. I'm paying $40 for Nifty for cross listing, $20 for Chat GPT for listing, and $20 for eBay store subscription. Gotcha. So Nifty won't, the choice to go up to the next level on Nifty won't have any impact on your eBay store subscription. And it may not have any impact on your Chat GPT. It just depends if you decide to use the AI listing tool that's that's built into Nifty. If you use that, then you probably wouldn't need the Chat GPT anymore, but that's up to you. I have the subscription for Chat GPT because I use it for other things like social media and emails. And yeah, it's just like my regular search results sort of stuff I use Chat GPT for. So you might just decide to keep that anyway, but you're welcome. I think we covered it there. Christy Marie is in the house. What's up? I love that you have 1,500. I had to laugh at myself trying to stay above 500. Thank you for making me raise the bar. I mean, again, don't compare your beginning or your middle to somebody else's middle or end, right? You're on your own individual journey. Do your thing, Lori. I've had this business for 7 years now. We just started year number 8 a month ago, and it's full time for me. This is it. This is my full income. So this has got my full undivided attention. So, just everyone's journey is their own. Don't compare. Just, I don't know, look for inspiration, look for ideas, steal them from everybody. I steal ideas from people who have stores that are like a quarter the size of mine. I had a great chat with a fellow named Kirby in a thrift store on, I think that was Thursday. And he's got a store with like 400 some odd listings, maybe 450. And he took me to school, and he's got a store that's, a third of the size of mine. He took me to school. I was taking notes. I wasn't actually taking notes in the thrift store, but I was taking notes. Do you allow Nifty to delist and relist items you have? I think I have it shut off, but for the Poshmark, because it's not super helpful on Poshmark anyway. But I have it on for eBay and Mercari, and I would recommend being on for all of them. I turned mine off for the Poshmark just because I didn't want to deal with like the Poshmark issues. But the big thing for Poshmark is sharing. That's what you want on. That's the thing. That's what makes a difference on Poshmark. The other platforms like eBay, Mercari, and Depop, the delist and relist was what's going to get you higher in listings. It's not as important in Poshmark. I wouldn't really sweat about it. I bought a storage locker of feet pictures, thousands of them. Do you know if Whatnot auction? I have no idea. Sorry, that's just not a question for Peak. I just don't know. If I know the answer, I'll tell you. If I think I know the answer, I'll tell you I think I know the answer. If I don't know the answer, I'll tell you I don't know the answer. I have no idea. I would probably reach out to them and see what they say. I went above 1,500 on Nifty in the last few days. Not sure how and when to decide that I have to pay for the higher subscription amount. Hoping they don't. Yeah, Christy, I got to get up to speed with like what's going on with that thing, because I'm just over 1,500 too. So I think it'll make my price go up, but I don't think it's going to go up to the end of the year. So yeah, and who knows? They might change that. That's like a new thing, and I think what's going to happen like with anything new that a company launches, right? You launch it, you kind of listen to feedback from your users, and then you kind of see how things go for a couple months. And I think what they're saying is you're grandfathered in until, or grandmothered in. I don't know. Does people care about that? I'm not sure, but you're granted in until the end of the year. And so that gives them time to evaluate, like, how is this decision going to impact people? What feedback are they getting from their customers? And, they might change that decision. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Oh, you're welcome, Lorianne. Shut off the deal. Okay, I shut off the delist. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't fret. I just think it's small change. Of all the features in Nifty, having the delist relist on Poshmark isn't super important. Sharing is what Poshmark craves the most. All activity is good activity, but sharing is most important on Poshmark. Sharing isn't a thing on eBay and Mercari and Depop. Love the shirt. Thanks. Appreciate that, Carl. No, I have not. I get about 4 sales a week on Facebook Marketplace, and I don't want to list it by switching to Nifty. Is it really? I got about 4 sales a week on Facebook Marketplace, and I don't want to lose it by switching to Nifty. Is it really worth it? Emily, I would need more information. I don't know, like, how many are you selling on eBay? How many are you selling on Poshmark? What are you using to cross list right now? How much is that costing? There's just too many questions. just knowing that you have 4 sales on Facebook Marketplace a week, I just don't know. It's a good question. I just don't know if there's enough information for me to give like a good, honest, confident answer. Yep, an end of the year for the new plan on Nifty. Got it. Thank you for that. And Do Dogs is in the house. What's up? Good to see you again. Mendy, reshipping internationally is offer buyer here in USA free shipping, but I can't offer free shipping internationally. Too expensive. Opinion. Reshipping internationally is I offer buyer here is free, but I can't offer. Mendy, if it's through the international shipping program with eBay, all it you don't. How do I share this? Your responsibility is getting the item to Glendale Heights, Illinois. That's the shipping that you charge. So if you want to do free shipping to Glendale Heights, Illinois, that's all you have to worry about. The shipping cost internationally is between the buyer and eBay. You won't even see that number. It doesn't appear on your listings on your end. It'll only appear on somebody in Ireland. If they're looking at your listing, they'll see what that shipping cost is. All you're worrying about for your shipping price that you're setting is how much it's going to be to go to Glendale Heights, Illinois. So if you do free shipping on stuff that goes all throughout the country anyway, then you're going to have free shipping probably for your items that go internationally to Glendale Heights, because the buyer is going to pay separately. They're going to pay in one transaction, but that's going to go direct to eBay, and you're cut out of that whole thing. That money doesn't go to you. You don't see it, any of that sort of stuff. What the heck is sharing? Eloy, Poshmark, you can share your listings on Poshmark. You can probably like Google and find out a little bit more about it. But yeah, if you haven't used Poshmark before, you can see that there's constantly items being shared on Poshmark. Oh my God, I think I saved myself. I just got charged for the annual Nifty plan right before I went up to 1,500. So I'm good until it renews next year. Nice. You went to that. Why the annual plan? Why did you do that, Christy? I'm curious why somebody would. I mean, that's a lot of money. I'm definitely not doing annual. I commented on your LL Bean post. But I'm glad that you're good until next year or whatever. That's good. But annual, that seems crazy. That's so much money. I commented in your LL post. You wanted to know if my LL Bean has value too. I commented on your LL Bean post. Just wanted to know if my LL Bean post has value too. I'm sorry, I might not have seen that comment. We get a lot of comments. We post all our content on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. So it's common when maybe a comment sneaks past me. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to, but I just don't remember seeing it. Or maybe I did see it and I commented back and I just don't remember. It's like a 3-ring circus with comments and posts and stuff. What do we got from Vulture Parade? What do you think about the different shipping options? Free, buyer paid, calculated flat rate? Do you prefer one over the other? Vulture, all I can say is what I use. So I use flat rate shipping for eBay and have for years. When I first got started, and I think it's great when people first get started, use the calculated shipping. I think that's a good way to get rolling on eBay. You'll make less mistakes. But once you get up and going, I just choose to use the flat rate shipping. So I hope that answers your question. That's what I use. So if I use it, then I usually think that that's the best option. What did I miss here? Just joined the live, and this maybe I've already discussed, but do you recreate on Nifty for eBay? Yes, 100%. 100%. I have done delist and relist on eBay, and that's what they refer to as recreate on Nifty. I've been doing that manually for years, like 6 years. I've been doing that manually. So the fact that Nifty does it for me every day saves me time every single day. So yes, I believe in delist and relist so much on eBay that I did it manually for years. So yes, I have that option turned on. You're very welcome. When do you start reselling on eBay? I started in 2018. If you follow me on TikTok, I actually shared on TikTok, they'll like show you a video from like past years on that same day. So yesterday there was one from October 24th, 2020, which I started sharing content about reselling in 2020. And I shared that video. The shipping prices on my listings were $4.49. That's how much things have changed since 2020. And I started in 2018. But yeah, that was kind of funny. But if you're following me on TikTok, you'll see I posted that as a story on my TikTok. It was an old video from August 24th, 2020. Things change. What did I sell in that video? I think there was a Prana shirt, if I remember right. There was a Brooks Brothers shirt. So some things stay the same. I still sell that stuff, but the prices were a lot different too. But shipping prices were like $4.49. That was kind of crazy. Do you offer paid coaching for whatnot. I don't, Letitia. I'm sorry. I'm not sure if I know anybody who does. I like the live stream and I got a sale. Nice. That's what it's all about. If you haven't liked the live stream, just like it. Bass and Coffee did it, got a sale. It's like automatic. You're welcome, Eloy. I'm not sure if that was helpful or not, but I wanted to save some money on the subscription fee. I will always love a good discount. I know I'll be using Nifty into the next year. Gotcha. Yeah. Got it. I have 118,000 shares. Nice, Josh. Just commented it now. Cool. Thank you. Hoping you would see it. Yeah, I'm on live. I won't be able to see like comments elsewhere while I'm here on the live. I'm sorry. What I'll see is just what you comment down below here in this chat. Thanks for everything you do, Chris. You're welcome, Josh. Appreciate you being positive. Hey, my man is in the house. Nothing funny about getting bent. Oh, yeah, there you go. I know. Hey, control the things you can control. You got to not worry about the things that you have literally no control. No shipping prices is something I have no control and no influence over. So I just don't worry about it. I just adjust to those things. I can't worry about those things because literally zero control, zero influence. I can't like go down to the post office and be like, hey, can we talk about these shipping prices? I have no influences. They won't listen to me and definitely no control. How often do you go picking 2 to 3 times a week? Yeah, typically 2 to 3 times a week. Nice. You're welcome, Vulture Parade. All right, let's do some more shipping. That was like a comment chain. Where were we? Left off on these Carhartts. Did a little, remember that? It was like freaking 20 something minutes ago. We did a little teaching moment about these Carhartts. Every pair of Carhartts or every Carhartt piece has a tag. On that tag, there is a number. All you have to do is look up that number. This one, the number is B159. Then there's usually some letters after that or some numbers, and that's the color. So CHR was the color, but B159. I looked up Carhartt B159 pants, found comps, priced accordingly. These sold for $32.99, even with a flaw. I paid $5 at a thrift store. Great profit here. So $33.99, that's going to be about, or sorry, $32.99. That's going to be $6 in fees. So that's going to leave me with $26.99. And I paid $5. So I'm going to make about $21.99, $22 on this order right here. And I'll tell you how long it took to sell too. Just give me 1 second here. Let's see. Those took 56 days to sell, so just under 2 months. There is a 50% sell-through rate, and I priced near the top of the market and still got it sold in less than 2 months. Of course, the last 2 months are like summertime. We're going to see Carhartt pants. We're going to see the sell-through rate go up. I think I sold 4 pairs of Carhartt pants. 4 this weekend alone. 4 pants and 1 pair of shorts, Carhartt, just this weekend alone. So that Carhartt to me is it's like a fall brand. It's like a winter brand, you know, it's like a heavy, cozy type of brand. Some brands just have like a season too. Like to me, like LL Bean is a fall brand. Like Duluth, you know, like flannels, you know, I think about stuff like that, like fall. Some patterns are just definitely fall too. But anyway, big fall weekend this weekend, a whole bunch of Carhartt, 5 Carhartt. It's going to be like a record for my business. Next up is Jose. I don't pick up all Carhartt, yo. It's worth mentioning. So you can comp any Carhartt by looking at that tag. Just look at the number on the inside. This is the first time I've ever bought or sold this brand right here. Bonus points if you know that logo. Well, I guess it says it right there. Flylow is the name of the brand right here. Not a common brand. This is a cycling brand like mountain bike. So these are mountain bike pants right here. Flylow Goodson is what they're called. They have a style number on the inside. I looked up that style number on Google and I found that it's called the Flylow Goodson mountain bike pants. So I put that in the item title. These sold for full asking price, $39.99. So $40. Buyer paid $7.95 shipping. So I'm going to make $2 off shipping too. So $40 on these. I paid $5 at a thrift store. So my fees are going to be about $7. So that's going to leave me with 33. I'm going to make $2 off the shipping. So that's going to make me 35. I made $30 in profit after fees, cost of good, all that stuff. This is going to Jose, some mountain biking pants. On a lot of modern stuff, you can look up the style number on one of the inside tags. It's usually on the materials tag or it's on a tag that's that's like right next to the materials tag, and you'll find a style number. You can Google it and you can figure out what the item is. These are the Goodson pants. So Fly Low is the brand. That's a good one to look for. You're probably not going to find it too often. I live in like a mountain biking mecca, like Brevard, which is just south of us, about 25 minutes, where Kim and I were hiking yesterday. That's Pisgah National Forest. I mean, it is a destination mountain biking place. So we find more mountain biking stuff around here than most areas in the country that would find it. And I don't find Fly Low very often. I think that's the first time I've ever bought or sold that brand. So there you go. Another great sale coming your way right here. William and Murray. This is a brand that definitely peaked 2 years ago. This is Bill Murray's brand, and definitely peaked 2 years ago. This stuff used to sell like hotcakes for really good money. This one sold for $28.99. You can still sell some stuff from this brand. This is a men's size 3 extra large, so a big size, in that like nice madras pattern, patchwork style pattern. Good keywords. $28.99. I paid $5 at the thrift store for this. I don't pick up all William and Murray anymore. I have to be selective about it. There you go. That's a good idea. I like it. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that for sure, my man. I'm sure with you. When are you going to start doing live eBay store reviews? I don't know. Did I say that I was going to start doing them? I don't have plans to do them. Are you telling me to do them? You ain't the boss of me. Do you promote all your listings on eBay? I do. How do you know how long they took to sell? Do you have a magical spreadsheet? I do have a magical spreadsheet. I do have a magical spreadsheet. I will I'll share it right now. So this is the spreadsheet I'm looking at that are showing me the sales that we're working on. So anything in the blue up at the top, that means I've already shipped it. So that's the stuff that I shipped on Saturday. The stuff that we're working on here is all in the white. These are all the sales from the weekend. You can see the sale price on the right-hand side. You can see shipping collected. And you can see the date sold and the date listed. And this calculates days to sell right over here. So I had an item that sold in 1 day this weekend. I had one that sold in a couple hours there. And I had another one here that we'll get to in a little bit that sold in like 12 hours. I'm actually surprised about that one. So it calculates all that stuff for me. I keep a spreadsheet, and that spreadsheet, I'm going to share with you exactly what's going on there. Give me 1 second. I'll share you a link to that spreadsheet if you want to go check it out. This is the 3rd year I've used this spreadsheet. My friend Jason Hayes makes this, sells this. He's the spreadsheet reselling guy. Let me get you the link to it. Bear with me. That's not it. Bear with me. Here's the link right here, and I'm going to there's a discount code I have for 10% off. Oops. One second. It's a really long link, but it should work. If you're on Instagram, I won't share the link in the chat with Instagram just because you can't click on links in Instagram chat anyway, but you can find this in my recommended reseller supplies. That's the link to it. And if you want to get 10% off a spreadsheet, all you got to use is discount code Chris25. I'll just drop that at checkout. Just enter that. But you can check out the spreadsheet. Jason has some great YouTube videos that discuss exactly what the spreadsheet does, exactly what the spreadsheet doesn't do, and all the features. I'm a big fan of it. I've been using it for 3 years. It's between Nifty and that's kind of like what runs my entire business. So thanks for asking, Nick. Nick, don't you use his spreadsheet too? I do use markdown sales in my store. I don't use coupons. Do you have to put all that into the sheet, or does it do it automatically? I put it into the sheet. I just copy and paste it. Some people put the date in the SKU. Yep, some people do that. But I have the magical spreadsheet. And you can use discount code Chris25 if you want to. I use the creator spreadsheet. There's 3 levels. I recommend for most people the middle level. It's called premium. I use the creator spreadsheet because I have sources of income from like Whatnot and YouTube and Facebook and all these other places in my coffee business. So that having that creator spreadsheet allows me to manage all those other incomes at the same time too. But you can track your expenses. You can track your sales. It's all built in there. I love it. It gives you some like really great like graphs, and you can keep up with data about your business too, which I really like. But yes, you asked, now you get. Let's go back to shipping. Next up is a pair of, so William and Murray, we're shipping that one out. $28.99. I paid $5. Buyer paid $6.95 shipping. I'm going to make $1 on the shipping here, and my fees on this are going to be about $5 on this, so $23.99, so $24, $25. I'm going to make $20 off this shirt right here, William Murray. Oops, almost forgot my thank you card to Mike. Thank you, Mike. So $20, William Murray. Again, be selective about this brand. It used to be pick up anything William Murray. Find it, grab it. Now just comp it when you find it and see, what's the sell-through rate? What are they going for? But I'm happy with a $28.99 full asking price for that. Cool pattern, big size, out the door. Next up is a pair of Solomon hiking boots. I bought these online arbitrage, so bought a whole bunch of these. They're brand new women's Solomon Gore-Tex hiking boots. I've been selling these off. It's been a really great pickup for me. Shipped to my front door at a really good price. And these sold for full asking price, $99.99. These are going to eBay. They're going to the Authenticator. So because these are over, I think it's $79, because they sold for over $79, and they're brand new in-box shoes, these are going to go to eBay's authentication. So I'm shipping these to Moonachie, New Jersey. Sometimes they go to Vegas, but these are going to New Jersey. They have authentication in Vegas and Jersey. These are going to Jersey. It is free shipping for the buyer. eBay has paid for this, and it's going FedEx. I use a 14 by 10 by 6 box. I have all my shipping supplies linked in my recommended reseller supplies spreadsheet, including these boxes that I use them for new in-box shoes. I also use them for used shoes too, just because I can have one box that does it all. So these are going in there. They fit just about perfectly in that box, which I like. Just got to put a little bit of recycled paper so it doesn't bang around in there a ton. And these are going to Jennifer. Let's get her thank you card in there. Thank you, Jennifer. So anything that's going to the authenticator for eBay always goes through, it goes FedEx. And it's a free shipping label. I'm using Nifty, but my sales have been slow. Any advice? There's not a lot of, I'm sorry your sales are slowed down. You didn't give me a lot of information to go with to give you like good recommendations. But I'll just give you my boilerplate stuff, list new in-demand inventory every single day. Make sure you have all your automation tools turned on Nifty. So your auto delist, your auto sharing, your auto offers, make sure those are all turned on. But list good quality inventory every day. Make sure your photos are better than your competition. And make sure you have really good keywords in all your listings too. Include measurements in all your listings. And make sure you're pricing competitively. Selling clothing on eBay and Poshmark is a very, very competitive business. So make sure that you're priced competitively. What's up, Tej? What is up, Tej? What do we got? Lexol. Is there a specific place to find sell-through rates? You just got to look up the total number of items listed on eBay, and then you look up the total number listed over the last 90 days. You divide the total number sold divided by the total number listed, and you'll get multiply that by 100. You get your sell-through rate. Hope that helps. If you need me to repeat that, just let me know. Tej is in the house. A rare treat. What's up, Tina from Florida is in the house also. 6%. 6% promotion rate, Carrie. How often do you run sales on eBay? I don't have like a natural routine. I kind of run them when I feel like running them. I do use it. I floated the opportunity to promote it. Got it. I wasn't sure. I thought maybe, but yeah. Thank you, brother. What am I doing here? Give me 1 second. Anyway. Crap. I think I just accidentally turned off my. Sorry, I had somebody who was like spamming my IG, and yeah, that's my whole story. I don't really have more to it. They were like spamming my chat and IG being weird, so I was trying to block them, and for some reason it wasn't blocking them, and then now it just went away. So I think I just ended the live stream unintentionally. So I just got to check to make sure it's not still going. I don't think it is. Oh, maybe it is. I'm just ending it. It wasn't blocking. It wasn't letting me block that person. So I just ended the live stream. That's it. I'm not dealing with that crap. Life is too short to deal with losers. All right. So sorry. I was a little distracted by that. Let's see. So we're on Elliot. So got a pair of Mavi Jake jeans. Now, if you learn anything today from today's live stream, I hope you learn a lot of things, but if you learn anything, always comp jeans, not just based on the brand. So the brand here is Mavi. When you're doing your price research, look up the model too. This is the Jake Slim Leg, and look up the size as well. You can find, especially with jeans, you can find some wild differences in sell-through rate based on the model and the size too, and in sold average sale price too. This sold on a nifty best offer of $29.70, which means I think I had them priced for $32.99. Does that sound right? Yeah, I had them priced at $32.99. So 10% off best offer. And these sold for $29.70. Thank you to Nifty on that assist right there. Great sale price right here. But don't just look up Mavi jeans when you find Mavi jeans. Don't just look up Levi's jeans or trying to think of like Rock Revival. Look at the actual model that you have in front of you. That's likely going to make a difference in sell-through rate and price. Not always, but more often than you might think. So you have the ability to do so. So look up the model and the size. Why not do it? This is a men's size 36 by 30. These are going to Elliot. A lot of people like to talk about how like certain sizes across the board sell really well. So some people say like, size 36 is the best size to sell. Other people use this. I don't know where this came from. There's this thing that a lot of sellers, it must be like a big like influencer said this, but he uses this term. It's like drop six, meaning if the difference between the waist size and the length is 6 or less, those are the best sellers. And so meaning 36.30 is good, but 38.30 is bad. To me, toss all that stuff out the window. You're going to find different sell-through rates for different brands, different sizes, and different models. Whatever you have in your hand, just look up the sell-through rate and look up the average sale price of the size, the model, and the brand. All these like rules of thumb to me are kind of crazy. Some of them are maybe a little bit helpful, but I would say that they're going to be wrong more often than they're right. Like one thing I could say is like, hey, like 34 length tends to sell faster for me. And that might be true in a lot of jeans, but you might find a pair where the 34 length is actually a slower seller than some other lengths. So look up what you find. That's the best way to do it. Next up is Jamie's got this Emporio Armani. I took a shot on this. There really wasn't a lot of sales data. So you can see it's Emporio Armani EA7. It's a sweatshirt, a crew neck, and it's got that big Armani logo on the front. Wasn't a lot of like sales data for me to go by. I was like, it's a cool enough sweatshirt that if somebody vibes with Armani, I think somebody will buy it. Went back and forth with this customer on an offer, sold for $27 plus $8.95 shipping on this. So nice sale there. I think that took a little while to sell. That feels like 5 or 6 months ish. Let me tell you exactly how long it took to sell. 128 days. So there you go. 6 months to sell that one. But again, there wasn't sales data. I took a shot on it for $5. I'm like, I think this will sell for like 25 or 30. I got 27. I'm happy, even if it took a little while. Wheels up. See you in a week. Take care, Nick. You've really helped my sister and I with our business, especially with suit coats and polos. Thank you. You're welcome, Denise. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that helps. What's up? WK is in the house. WK is in the house. All right, so these is going to Jamie. So my profit on this, I'll end up paying about $5 in fees on this. So I'll be left with $22. I'm gonna make $3 on shipping. So 25. I'm gonna make $20 on this. So I paid $5, and I'm gonna make $20 profit after fees, after shipping, after my cost of goods, 20 net. A lot of people ask about, they're like, well, what about shipping materials and all that stuff? These bags cost me 6 cents a piece. The clear bags on the inside cost me 6 cents a piece. And that sticker right there cost me 1 cent. So that's 6, 12, 13. And then this shipping label sticker is another 2 cents. So that's 15 cents is going to be my shipping supplies on this. So subtract that from my net of $20 profit. Subtract 15 cents. And now you got like the true net. Next up is an order for Jake. Really fast sale. What's up, Amy? How are you? The Nebraska Hanger. What a great name. Do you do flat rate shipping on eBay? I do. Good afternoon, Mr. Notification awaiting your tea. Thank you, Carolyn. I appreciate it. Your tea is on the way. Appreciate you. That's awesome. We got an order for Jake on deck here. These sold in like 12 hours. I listed these yesterday and they sold overnight. So probably 8 hours they sold. Polo Ralph Lauren pleated pants, like trousers, like dress pants. Sold for $24.99 full asking price and plus $8.95 shipping. I listed them yesterday. I paid $5 at the thrift store for these. I did not expect these ones to be like a really fast seller. I did note though, I'm like, I don't really see like a dark brown color in these a lot. So I'm like, maybe that'll help it sell. Maybe it'll help it sell slower. I don't know. But I didn't comp these or anything. I sell a ton of Polo Ralph Lauren, like khakis and jeans and pants. So I just sort of threw them at $24.99. And I was like, that seems like a pretty reasonable price. And someone else thought so too. So these are going to Jake out the door. I like it. Doing great. Just getting my shipping ready to go out the door, then go thrift. I like your day. You got a nice little day lined up. I like it, Amy. That's my speed right there. We're finishing up the eBay shipping. Got a few more orders, and we got some Poshmark shipping. Oops. Need another piece of tape or another roll of tape. Do you have a video for your flat rate? I don't. I price shirts at $5.95. Or sorry, I price shirts at $6.95. I price jeans at $8.95. I price blazers at $9.95, and I do suits at $12.95. I hope that helps. $6.95, $8.95, $9.95, and $12.95. I don't know if it's really video worthy. I hope that helps. More tape. What is your channel about? We resell clothing on eBay, Poshmark, Amazon, and Mercari. Welcome in. Good to have you. It's a business that we run out of the house. We've been running this business for 7 years. It's been a full-time pursuit for me for 4.5 years, almost 5 years. So home-based business. We share with people exactly what we sell, how much we paid for it, and how much profit we make, so that other people can do the same thing. They can either start or grow their existing at-home businesses selling clothing online. So welcome in. If that's interesting to you, let me know. This is for a lot of people, it's a side hustle, and that's how it started for us. It started as a side hustle to make a little bit of extra money in a tough economy. We started back in 2018. It wasn't really a tough economy then, but boy, it got tough pretty quickly there. Next up is an order for Miro. This is a brand new pair of corduroys Levi's. Great seller for me. These usually sell for higher sale prices than do the jeans. So $40.50. This was on a Nifty best offer. So my cross-lister Nifty sent out a 10% off offer to Miro, and Miro accepted this offer. So I like that. $40.50. I typically pay between $13 and $16 for these at retail stores on clearance. If they're sometimes I'll pay as much as $20 for them, but typically my average buy cost on these is about 16 bucks. I buy them whenever I find them. So these are 505 corduroys, but I'll buy them in all sorts of different numbers. 502 we sold earlier, 511s, 514s, 541s, whatever. The corduroy Levi's new with tags do really well for me. What's up? Meg Lectic is in the house. My friend Meg, how are you? You're welcome, Tina. Hope that helped. Do you sell your coffee on Amazon? I don't. Getting close to going full time. ND making money for my. What is the ND short for? Meg, I'm like really old and don't know a lot of these abbreves. What is ND? ND making money? I don't know. Maybe it's a typo. Maybe it's just old. But Meg, you're awesome. Love your content. I just moved over to Nifty. I love it so much. Thanks for sharing, Amy. We like it too. And actually, this helped us make some extra money on this sale too, because Nifty sent out that offer. So these are everything we're shipping on eBay is going out ground advantage, every single order. And then our Poshmark orders, everything is going out USPS priority. So except for we had one FedEx item for the shoes on eBay, but everything else was USPS ground advantage. And then when we switched to Poshmark, everything's priority. So these are going to Miro. Thank you, Miro. MD was supposed to be and. Gotcha. I thought it was just me being old and not understanding like a little abbreviation. No doubt. Okay, there you go. And okay, I just moved and let me see if I can reread it now that I know what I mean. Getting close to going full time and making money for myself. I like it. You should never start a sentence with and. Just so you know. Just so you know. In case you didn't know, now you know. The grammar police just gotcha. Well, whenever you switch from like a light roll of tape, like the almost empty roll, you run out and then you switch to like the bigger roll, all of a sudden like the weight is so different. It takes you a little while to get used to it. Only resellers will understand that kind of talk. It's like so heavy now compared. It was just light and fast a minute ago. Old, what are you, 30? I'm 44, brother. Does the spreadsheet you use help with taxes? Absolutely. Absolutely. It helps me prepare all the numbers that I need to share with my CPA for tax season, for sure. That's a big reason why people buy that. And I think of all people, you would get the grammar thing. So glad you enjoyed it. Next up is Ruben. I'm glad somebody enjoyed it. Another pair of Carhartts. I told you, got 5 Carhartt bottoms going out the door. These are Carhartt B151 canvas pants. These had, I put asterisk reed, which means they had some kind of flaw. Let's see what the flaw was. Maybe some spots or something. Yeah, let's just share the screen. What the heck? So this is the sale right here, these Carhartt pants. And you can see the tag right there on the inside. See where it says B151? That's how you can comp these. B151, where it says NVY, that's the color name. So navy in this case, NVY. But you comp based on B151. And the reason I see how they have some spots on the front, on the back, I guess that's it. So that's why I put asterisk read. You can see up in the item title, I did close-ups of the spots with a pointer, which is just a pen pointing right at it. And if you look in the description, it says very small spots, one on the front, one on the back, see photo with pointer. So that's how I sell items that are flawed right there. So these sold for I think these were full asking price. Yeah, full asking price, $21.99 on these Carhartts. They're canvas carpenter pants. And I always put that number B151. I put that right in the item title. And that's how I comp them too. So these are going to Oklahoma City to Ruben. Thank you, Ruben. We got one more eBay order after this. And then we got Poshmark orders. Appreciate that, I think. Thank you. Would you pick up Carhartt jacket for 40? Would make 15 to $20 profit. Would you pick up Carhartt jacket for 40? That I would make a 15 to $20 profit? A lot of people would probably say no, but if I think I can make 15, I mean, it's low on the profit, but I mean, it's kind of like we're going into the season. It's a hot seller. You'll probably sell it pretty quickly. And if you can make 15 to $20 for 40, me, I'd do it. A lot of people would say no, but I don't care about spending. If I could sell something quick and pay 40 and make 15 to 20, why wouldn't I do it? I'm going to put it on my credit card. Right now, if I buy something on my credit card, I don't have to pay for that until I don't pay that bill until October the 15th. So that gives me, from now, that's 50 days until I have to actually pay for the item. So I'm using the bank's money. And if I feel like I can sell it in under 50 days and make 15 to $20, why wouldn't I do it? Of course I would. So this item, I'm only going to make, let's see how much I'm going to make on this particular item. I paid $5 for it, and I'm going to make, let's see. So it's sold for $21.99 plus shipping. I'm going to make $1 on the shipping. The fees are going to cost me about $4. So that's going to be $17.99. So $18. I'm going to make -5, make 13. I'm going to make $14 on these, or I can make $15 to $20 on your Carhartt jacket. To me, it's no different, because that Carhartt jacket is going to sell inside 50 days. So the initial cost, although high, doesn't matter. I'm still going to make 15 or 20 bucks on these. I'm making 13 bucks. What's the difference? It really makes no difference to me. Because again, I'm using the credit card money. I don't pay interest on the credit card. I pay it off every month, but I won't have to pay something I buy today. I won't have to pay for it until October the 15th. That's when that credit card bill is due. So, do you track cost per item on your spreadsheet? I don't, Tina. I used to. I just take my cost in like per month. Getting Jason Hayes for now, as I am not at the Nifty level yet, or eBay store, I know will be nice. I've used it. I use Nifty and I use Jason Hayes' spreadsheet. And I've used that spreadsheet for years. He makes it better every year, which is cool too. All right, next up is Adam. This is our last eBay. Then we got Poshmark. Sold this for, you can see it's a brand new with tags, Polo Ralph Lauren. I buy and sell a ton of these. The retail on this is $138. It's a nice like pink pattern. Size medium, which doesn't sell as well for me. This is a performance model, which typically sells a little bit better. But this one was sitting around for a little while, so I priced it down by $5. I had it priced at $59.99. I dropped the price the other day to $55.99. Then I got an offer yesterday for $40. I countered at $49.99. So this sold for $50 plus shipping. It's got the pony on the chest right there and a really nice pattern. This is like one of those like performance like nylon stretch pieces, so like moisture wicking and all that. Usually with that pattern, these sell really fast for me. This one took a little while. That's okay. I just marked the price down. Sometimes all it takes is knocking a price down by $5 and you can get the sale. So we did. This is going to Adam. Thank you, Adam. Yeah, kind of my thinking. Hopefully it sells quick enough. Yeah, there you go. I mean, I think you're going into a season where people are about to start buying that stuff. Carhartt jackets sell year round, but you're going to see the sell-through rate go up. The effort expended is the time. That's right. That's right. A lot of people think the most finite thing in the world they think is money, but the reality is the most finite thing is time. As when you get old, I think you start thinking that way a little bit more. All right, next up is Poshmark sales. Poshmark started the weekend really, really slow. I had 0 sales on Poshmark Saturday, but then yesterday, and including this morning and yesterday, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sales came in yesterday into this morning, but 0 on Saturday. So ups and downs, downs and ups. Our first one is a Joseph A. Bank. I just sold one of these sweaters last week and shared a post about it. And then literally yesterday sold another one of these. So Joseph A. Bank, 100% merino wool. This one's a quarter zip, men's size, extra large. This is the 10th Joseph A. Banks sweater that I've sold so far this year. My lowest sale price is $19.87. This one sold for 20 bucks. So basically $20 and up is what I sell these for, typically like 20 to 25. And I only pick up the merino wool ones or silk or cashmere. Merino wool, silk, or cashmere. I don't touch the cotton ones, the Pima cotton ones. I don't touch those. Wool, silk, or cashmere is what I pick up. They are a low sell-through rate item, so I don't recommend these to somebody who is not cross-listing and who is not using automation tools. This would be off the table because it's just too low of a sell-through rate. You need those advantages that come from automation and from cross-listing in order for this to sell consistently enough. I've sold 10 of them so far this year. This one is going to, and they'll start to really heat up too as we get, sweater season is just beginning right now. So I pick these up for $5 when I see them or less. This is not an item I would pay $8 for. It's not an item that I would recommend you picking up if you're not cross-listing and using automation tools. That's a big difference because it's a low sell-through rate item. So if you're going to copy the stuff you can't just copy the stuff I pick up and expect the same results if you don't do the other part, which is copy how I sell these items, which means really great photos, measurements in every single listing, really great keywords, and of course, cross-listing to multiple platforms and having automation tools to be sharing and delisting and relisting and sending out offers constantly. You have to get good at two things in this business. Well, it's really three, but the two main things, you have to get good at finding in-demand items. Number two is you have to get good at selling in-demand items. And those are two different skill sets. And so if you're not like really crushing it with sell-through rate, you're not cross-listing, you're not using automation tools, I'd say a Joseph A. Banks sweater is off the table for you. It's just not something that's going to sell well. The sell-through rate naturally is too low. You need to promote, you need to cross-list, you need to have great photos, and you need to have automation tools for those to move consistently. Next up is a hook fishing shirt. This is actually a flannel. This brand, Hook, is a fishing brand, but this is a lightweight performance flannel. This brand is like, I don't pick up everything from this brand. This brand could be very fringy. This one sold for $20 on a best offer. I had a lot of people this past week sending me offers of like $15 or $18. Finally got the sale at 20 bucks. For some reason, like this past week, this shirt was hot. Everybody wanted it. So sold it for 20. I think I had it listed at 22 bucks. This is going to Joseph. I paid $5 for this at a thrift store, sold for 20 on Poshmark. Poshmark takes 20% fees. So on a $20 sale, Poshmark is going to take $4. That leaves me with 16 bucks. I paid $5. So I made $11 in profit on this Hook performance flannel shirt. Next order is a bundle order. I like that. What do we got? How would your business change if you had a 100-item store? I'd have to get a job. That would be the first thing. So there'd be a lot of changes. I'm trying to think. I don't know. Dylan, what do you really want to know? I'm not really sure. It would be part-time. I'd go back to work. Kim and I both work from home right now. If I couldn't get a work from home job, I'd probably have to buy a second car because we only have one car right now. So if I was going to go to work 5 days a week and have the car, I'd probably have to buy a second car. We'd have to be a 2-car family again. There'd be a lot of changes, but I don't know I'm not sure what you're getting at. Let me know what you really want to know. Hi, Chris. I'm new to eBay. I'm seeing a lot of Levi's pants available in the thrift store. Do you think it's a good idea to buy and resell them for a profit? It depends how much you're paying for them. I pay $5 for Levi's jeans, the 5 series jeans, men's only. I pick them up constantly for $5 and I sell them for like $20 to $24 pretty consistently. But again, that's a low sell-through rate item. So that's an item that you're probably going to have to be pretty good at. You have to be good at selling. So you're going to have good photos, good keywords, promote on eBay, cross-list to other platforms, and use an automation tool like Nifty to get that stuff moving. You'll find a lot of it. It's a low sell-through rate item, but if you have to pay $8 or $10 for them, I wouldn't pick them up. So price matters. What lights do you use for photos? I struggle to get true colors. I've had 3 different light sets. That's what I use right there. They're called Newer. I have them linked in my my spreadsheet with all my recommended shipping supplies. I have 2 different lighting kits in there. The top one is the one that I use. The other one's a little bit more expensive. It's an LED kit where you can change like the brightness and the temperature. If you're having trouble with your lighting, you might consider that second one, not the one that I use, but the second one. It's an LED panel kit, because you can turn up the brightness and you can change like the temperature too. So you can have like a cooler light or a brighter light. You might like something like that if you're having a hard time, Stephen, getting it dialed in. You're welcome, Ona. Next up is a bundle of Carhartts. So this is Carhartt sale number 4 and number 5 of the day, all bottoms. So we got they're both women's. They're a women's plus size, so they're 18W. So same size, same model. Buyer came in with a bundle offer on these. I think they offered me $35. I countered at 40, and they accepted the bundle offer of $40. I paid $5 a piece for these. So I'm going to go ahead and put these in a box. Yeah, I'm going to put them in a box because everything Poshmark ships USPS priority. So I use all the free USPS priority shipping supplies. This one here is the shoe box. It's free. I can use my own poly bags or my own boxes if I want to, but these ones are free. I order them from USPS.com. We'll use them. Would you get fast selling items or higher dollar items but sit longer? And yes, this is part-time. Dylan, it sort of depends on some other things too. So if I went down to 100 items, I have 70 plus empty. I would have like 70 plus empty bins. And I have all these shelves and all the storage out in my garage for a business that can hold 1,800 to 2,000 items. So I have those advantages to me. So if I went down to 100 units, I guess I probably wouldn't really be concerned too much about sale price and stuff, because I can just find low, or I wouldn't care about a sell-through rate as much. I'd probably buy the same stuff I do now because I have the space to store it. So who cares? If I had a chance to go to one thrift store after work every day and I could get a handful of things and just put them out in my storage that I have. So it kind of depends on like your storage situations. It depends on your business goals and all that sort of thing. So to me, it doesn't matter. Like the size of the store isn't going to change my approach. It just depends on like what you're trying to do. Like what kind of turnover do you want to have with your business and all that. But 100 for me, I don't think it would change it. The size doesn't really change it. It's just, it just depends on like, what are your business goals and, you know, what are the strengths and weaknesses of your market in your area? Can you find a lot of high sell-through rates items consistently or not? You know, like I see what you're asking. It's going to cut down this box a little bit, but it just depends. Like, what are you trying to get in? What are you trying to get out? For me, I have all the storage space. I'll buy low sell-through rate items, use a tool like Nifty to help me sell them. I don't, you know, I don't really have, I don't live in a big city. I can't hit 20 thrift stores a week. There isn't that many. So I have to build my business around my area. So the number count of the store isn't what you build around. You build around what your area has to offer. And then like, what strengths do you have? Do you have storage space in your place or not? You know, I talked to a guy the other day. He has like 400 something listings. He only does high sell-through rate items. He's got no storage. He's got no space. He's like, Chris, I just don't have any space. I have 2 shelves. That's it. If I go anything bigger than that, you know, we're going to take over our living room, which isn't an option. Or he's like, you know, we would need a garage or a storage unit. And that's, you know, he's like, I really don't want to do that. So he kind of built around the tools that he had and the strengths that he has. And that's how he built his business. So I'd encourage you to do the same thing. These are going to Elizabeth. I know it sounds like I'm dodging your question, but it's like, well, what are you trying to accomplish? The size of the store isn't really what's going to make the decisions for you. It's what are your goals? What does your area offer in terms of opportunity? Like, what are the strengths that you have in terms of space or time or whatever? You know, it's kind of like your question is almost, and I'm not picking on you. Your question is almost like, hey, look, I want to open a restaurant. Should I open a cheap fast food burger place, or should I open a high-end steak place? What, you know, it'd be like asking another restaurateur what their opinion is. Like, hey, restaurateur, what's your opinion? Should I open a cheap burger place, or a high-end steak place. Because high-end steaks, you're going to make a lot more money per each sale, a lot more profit, but you're going to have less sales. If you open a burger joint, right, that's cheaper price, you're going to have a lot more sales, but a lot lower profit per item. Both are great business models. You just got to think about what the model is that you're most interested in doing. To me, the idea that you're going to have 100 items listed at any given time, like that's, I don't know. I don't think that's really the determining factor. I think you got to just think about like what you really want. What do you want to sell? What makes sense for your area? Does your area need another steak place? Does your area need another burger place? Like the question is more about like kind of what you want to do and what type of business that you're vibing with. Because you can open a steak place and make money. You can open a burger place and make money, or you can open either one of those and fail. It's all about how you execute whatever you decide to do. If you're early on, you might not know the answer to that question. You might have to do some trial and error and see what works for your business in your area. 2 Carhartts out the door, nice little bundle order, $40. I paid $5 a piece for those. So my total buy cost was $10. The bundle was for $40. Poshmark's going to take 20% fee. So Poshmark is going to take $8 out of the 40. That leaves me with 32. So I paid 10. That means I'm going to make $22 profit or $11 each on those Carhartt pants right there. So next up is a Tommy Bahama hat. These were not the best buy for me. I sold this one. They're brand new with tags. You can see a bunch of them behind me. I bought them for like $3 or $4 a piece. Yeah, $4 a piece, I think is my average buy cost on these. And this one sold for $18. This is a Nifty best offer. So it was priced at $20. Nifty sent a 10% off offer, closed that sale for me at $18. So these weren't a great buy, but they have actually been selling a little bit lately. Sold at least a few of them in the last couple of weeks. So I'm going to put this in a free USPS priority box too. Because why not? They're free. This is going to Caitlin. Postcard guy I watch has 18,000 plus postcards, and it's all in one cabinet. Love it. I agree. He's very informative. I love that you're so down to earth and you just call it like it is and give good information. Yes, I hope that's the way people are taking it. Sometimes I'm just like, I can be pretty direct. So I'm glad that you're calling my directness down to earth and calling it how it is. Some people see it as like, well, he's abrasive or direct or aggressive, but sometimes I just don't know the answer, and people have to like figure out the answer for themselves. Like, what kind of business do you want to open up? Another restaurateur can't tell you what restaurant you should open up. Just like another reseller can't tell you what reselling business to open up. It might be postcards. That might be your thing. There's people who sell just ties and that's their thing, right? You just got to figure out like, what's the opportunity for you? Like, what can you find locally in your area? And then like, what do you want to do? What do you want to wake up and do every single day? When you first started, everything you look at, are you scanning and trying to find STR? I'm typically not scanning because with clothing, you can't really, with used clothing, you really can't scan. You just have to look up the item that you find. You have to type it in is typically what you're doing. There is some like Google Lens stuff and eBay Lens stuff and all that stuff that can help too. But when I first started, those things didn't exist in 2018. So yes, I looked up what I found. And I would look at sell-through rate and I would look at average sale price, 100%. I still do that stuff. And I've been doing this for 7 years. I'm finding new brands every single week that I go out. I find a brand that I've never found before. And the reason I find it is because I was curious. I looked it up and I looked at sell-through rate and looked at the average sale price. And I said, this is a good pickup. So I still do that every single day. It's a habit of success is to always be learning in this business. And that means you have to always be doing your research and assume that you don't know it all, because you don't. Again, 7 years I've been selling online. Most of that time I've been heavy clothing, not the whole time. I was like 50-50 hard goods and clothing for a long time too, but I've always had a lot of clothing in my business and I still don't know it all. There's just no way. There's too many different brands. There's always new hot brands that are emerging. Brands that were hot 2 years ago are no longer hot. That's another reason why you should be looking up items and looking at sell-through rate. And that's an advantage, by the way. I haven't shared this, but I share a lot of posts about sell-through rate and average sale price of items that I find in thrift stores. And that actually helps me out a lot, because these are items that I pick up all the time and I'm just sharing them with you. I'm putting up a photo post of a Carhartt I found or whatever, and I'm sharing those numbers, but it helps me because when I share those numbers with you, I don't necessarily look them up for myself all the time because I've bought and sold that brand a billion times already before, right? But when I'm sharing it with you, I got to look up those numbers. And sometimes I'm like, well, shoot, those numbers aren't as good as what they used to be. Or I'm like, shoot, those numbers are way better than they used to be. So, that's the thing. If you're selling clothing, it's the fashion business. It's clothing. It's the fashion business. People aren't buying shirts to cover themselves. People have enough shirts and pants to cover themselves. They're buying stuff to look good, right? And they're to look good, feel good, whatever, right? It's the fashion business, and that changes. What felt good, what made them feel good a year ago is different this year. The people are watching TV, they're watching movies, they're looking at websites. Fashion is dictating what they think that they should wear. And a great example of that, and like guys don't like to say like, I don't care about fashion, I wear the same old stuff. That's hogwash. The men's like golf business, like the apparel business, changes so rapidly. It's like the fastest changing thing. Like the brands that were hot 2 years ago are no longer hot. They're cold, and there's new brands that come out. So guys who say like, oh, I don't really care about like trends or brands or whatever, they're lying to you. Some of them probably don't, but they're lying to you because that men's golf, it changes so fast. So you got to look this stuff up. If you're not looking stuff up, if you're not doing your research, you're missing out on trends both up and down, and you're missing out on new brands all the time. I have 8 totes of clothes, a lot of vintage, just hate the whole measuring and crap. Oh, I hate doing pixels. Yeah, you might have some some deep questions to ask yourself if you're going to keep staying in this business, my man. What's up, Mazda John is in the house. I haven't seen you in a little bit. As soon as the pumpkin spice hits the stores, it's the fall selling season. Yeah, we used to say up in New England, we'd say it's like whenever the Sam Adams changes, whenever the tap changes. So, it changes to Sam Summer, like in like probably March, honestly, right? And then they change to like Oktoberfest. I think it's like the first week of August. Maybe it's even sooner right now. So you just follow like whatever the seasonal Sam Adams was. That's what we did in New England back in the day. Sam Adams was the thing at the time, but I was also in the restaurant business, so that sort of influenced that sort of thing too. I want to wake up and count cash and drink coffee Powerballs. Yeah, buddy, that's what I'm talking about. Appreciate the perspective. You're welcome, Dylan. I'm sorry if I didn't answer your question, but that's a question that you're just going to have to answer for yourself, And it's good that you're asking the question. You'll just have to wrestle with it, maybe try some things. I appreciate you saying that. It's the teacher in you, and you're not going to cuddle people. I don't tend to be like the cuddliest person by nature either. But I try to be positive with y'all and lift y'all up. But if you're looking for a cuddle, I don't know. Maybe somebody else. I don't know if there's another reseller out there that would be a good cuddler for you. So we're gonna get this Tommy Bahama hat out the door. Finally. So I paid $4, sold for $18. Poshmark's gonna keep $3.60. That's their 20% fee. So that's gonna leave me with $14.40. So I'm going to make $10.40 off this Tommy Bahama brand new tagged hat. Took me a while to sell it. I think I just got to price these down a little bit and get them to go. Got to cut this box down a little. What's everyone up to today? What's everyone up to? Is there sourcing on the agenda today? That's really what I want to know about. Are you getting out to find stuff today? I don't often get out on Mondays. Sometimes I'll stop by like my closest thrift store. I don't really do a lot of sourcing on Mondays. Maybe I should. I got to switch up my routine a little bit. This is going to Caitlin. Thank you, Caitlin. Put away shop objects. I have so much stuff I need to list, so that's what I'm doing right now. Nice job. I like it. I like it. Want to hit up a Polo Ralph Lauren outlet about 1.5 hours away this coming weekends and do some returns at Lululemon. Nice. I'll just say this, Christy. If you're going to go to Polo soon, I would encourage you to do it by tomorrow. And do with that information what you will. So this is going to. Have you ever bought anything at that Lululemon? Oh, do returns at Lululemon. I was wondering if you were like at a source at Lululemon, like how sometimes they have those little Lululemon shops, or I think they call them pop-ups, and they'll have them oftentimes at outlet malls. I was wondering if anyone ever sourced at one of those. I've never walked into them. I just assume that it's like really expensive stuff. Next up is a Wrangler, and this is our last sale of the morning, I think. Let's just check a couple of things real quick. I think this might be the last one. I haven't mentioned it yet too, but if you get a coffee order in today during our live, we always ship this out really during the live. We haven't talked about coffee today. So we have our own coffee. It's freshly roasted every single Thursday. It's fair trade. It's organic. It is top of the food chain coffee. This one right here is our most popular. It's our Hooper's Creek medium roast. If you haven't tried our coffee, this is the way to go. It's a crowd pleaser. We offer it both in ground and in whole bean, so you can choose. I'm going to drop you the link down below in the chat. There it is. Oops. There's that link right there. If you want to check out the coffee, you can see where it's from, how it's roasted, all that stuff. This coffee is a single origin, fair trade, organic coffee from Chiapas, Mexico. It is legit. Little hints of milk chocolate on this one. Super smooth cup of coffee. If you haven't tried it, that's the one to try. We also have a light roast. We also have a dark roast. You can learn more at that link I just dropped down below, or go to chris@peak.com, or go to my profile. You'll find coffee linked on the website easily. That's our local legit coffee. If you want to check it out, check it out. If you don't, that's cool too. But I wanted to mention it to you, give you that offer. And if you do buy it while we're here during the live, I'll stay on live for a couple more minutes. We can ship it out to you. So if you're like going to the cart right now, to check out, you can let me know down below in the chat, and I'll hang on for you so you can we can ship it out right here on the live with a big dose of gratitude, as we always do. Sorry, I hadn't mentioned coffee yet. I'm still drinking my second cup of coffee today. This is our Black Mountain Dark Roast. We did it as a cold brew. So we grind it at home and make our own cold brew. And it is delicious. And that's 2 coffees down the hatch. Now I'm done. I'm cut off. I caught the tail end of the conversation about how to find what to sell. My niche sort of found me. I used to be a bigger dude and I always found it hard to find clothes at the source. So I sell big clothes. I like it. Yeah, I mean, that's how our niches find us. Thank you for sharing. I didn't go into this saying like I'm going to sell clothes for a living. That's my dream. It just happen to know a little bit about outdoor clothing and outdoor attire, like outdoor brands like Cool and North Face and Patagonia and that sort of stuff. So as somebody who has like hiked, climbed, skied, backpacked for years, I kind of knew a lot about that world and knew a lot about footwear. And I happen to live in a place, Denver, Colorado, which happens to have a lot of that kind of stuff out there. So that's what got me into selling clothing, because I knew a little bit about it. And then I started learning about golf clothing and golf shoes and dress clothes and, dress shoes, and just kind of expanded from there. Sold all kinds of stuff over the years. I was about 50-50 hard goods and clothing for a while. And then just over time, I just realized that I like shipping clothing better. I don't mind like the measuring and photoing like a lot of people whine about. And the storage is so easy for clothing. And I just realized like, man, I'm starting to learn a lot about this clothing thing. So it just sort of found me. Now I'm like 99% clothing at this point, but it wasn't always that way. The niche sort of finds you sometimes. You just kind of figure it out. I've been drinking coffee. I've been drinking the coffee daily, and I appreciate it, Brandy. I appreciate your business. It means a lot to me. Do you have a video on how to use the spreadsheet? I don't, but Jason Hayes has YouTube videos. It's his product. So if you go to the link right here for the spreadsheet, which I'll share down below in the chat, if you go to that link, you can look at the different spreadsheets. And if you click through to like say the premium one, he has links to YouTube videos, and I'll let him talk about his spreadsheets. He's more articulate about it than I am. Yep, he has got YouTube videos like linked right in the listing. If you scroll through the listing description, and you can hear him talk about this sheet. He knows it a lot better than I do. So, if you do want to buy any of his spreadsheets, I recommend the premium one, which is the middle tier. Use that discount code Chris25 at checkout. You'll get 10% off. Why not? Big fan of that spreadsheet. What did I miss? I niche down further by selling mostly shirts and outerwear. I like it. The days I keep my gratitude higher than my expectations. I have really good days. I like that quote. Ray Willie Hubbard. I like that quote a lot. I like it a lot. Hello from my swimming pool. What's up, Trisha Smith? Welcome in from the pool. I like the sounds of that. I drink coffee all day and night, 2 to 3 pots. That's a lot of coffee. I respect it. You must move and groove. You get those photos done in no time, those measurements done. You're just moving. Either that or you're just like shaking a real lot. Next up is we got our Wrangler. This is our last sale of the day. This one came in this morning, and this is actually a sale right out of my closet. So a Wrangler is a men's size, large, and kind of like a nice like floral little pattern there. I really like this shirt. Let me know if y'all deal with any of this at your house. So Kim always says like, hey, you got to sell some of this clothing that's in your closet. You got too much stuff in there, which I really don't have that much. But anyway, she says you got too much stuff. You got to sell some of this stuff. So then when I sell something, like this morning, I went to my closet to grab the sale. I'm like, hey, I sold something out of the closet. Are you happy? I grabbed it out. She's like, oh, I like that one. Why'd you have to sell that one? I was like, look, you can't have, if I don't sell it, you're mad at me. I do sell it, you're mad at me. Does anyone else have that at their house? You know, I don't know how to make sense of that. I'm sure there's women in the chat who are like, I understand her. I'm sure the guys in the chat are like, yeah, it just don't make any sense. It just don't make any sense. Anyway, this sold for 18 bucks on a nifty best offer. It was listed at 20 bucks on Poshmark, and Nifty sent Lauret, I think that's the name, Lauret, sent Lauret a 10% off offer. Lauret accepted. I think that's like 6 Nifty offers over the weekend. So 6 extra sales just from that auto offer tool. Not to mention we also sold 7 things on Poshmark. So if we didn't cross list with Nifty, we wouldn't have those 7 sales. So pretty crazy how it impacts my sales every week. If you have any questions about coffee, feel free to drop those questions down below in the chat. If you're not sure like which coffee I would recommend, you should buy, let me know. You can just let me know like what you currently drank, and I can tell you what I would recommend that we have that would be like similar to that. Of course, it would be better, but I can give you some recommendations based on what you're already buying on a daily basis anyway. You just can't win. It's right. It just doesn't make any sense. Taking care of my mom, organizing my soon to sell eBay stuff in totes. Nice. Getting a storage unit today. Wow. Okay. That's pretty big. Tomorrow setting up shelving. That's a big deal. You got like a big transition happening right now. I like it. Best sale from my closet was sold the pair of pants I was wearing last week. I love that, Chrissy. That's good stuff. You ever heard of the song Up Against the Wall right now? I don't know that one. Okay. Interesting. All right. We love Maxwell House. So Maxwell House is Maxwell House's coffee. It was probably the Maxwell House that's in your house was probably roasted. My guess would be that it was roasted in 2024. It could have been roasted in 2023. So one might say that at one point in time that was coffee, but it is far from fresh at this point. Typically a blend of Colombian coffee, but Maxwell House, those big brands, they just buy a whole bunch of whatever the beans are that are the cheapest, and then they mix them up. So it's like whatever the cheapest possible blend, whatever they can get the coffee for the cheapest from the cheapest farms across the world, and they put it into one coffee. They roast it all up, and it sits on shelves for a long, long time before it ever makes it to your house. So comparing Maxwell House to Chris at Pete Coffee is a difficult thing to do. However, I would recommend if that's what you're drinking, you're probably going to want more of a light roast because Maxwell House is going to be more on like the lighter side. So maybe check out our peak season summer light roast. This is going to have little tasting notes of toffee and like a hint of blackberry as it cools down too, but it's mostly like a little hint of toffee. This coffee here is from Guatemala. It is a single origin, fair trade, and organic. And if you buy any of our coffee, WK, and I'm not giving you a hard time, you know that. I'm playing with you, but it is just a different product. It's just, buying coffee that's like freshly roasted is a different experience than buying, that like big batch, like mass produced processed stuff. It's just different. But if you do get coffee like this, you're not going to have to use as much of this coffee either, right? Because as coffee ages and gets, as it's exposed to air and oxygen, right, it loses flavor pretty rapidly. So a Maxwell House isn't going to have as much flavor as this. So you'd probably use a little bit less of this coffee. It'll also have more caffeine in it for the same reasons too. So I typically, I would say like round down, like if you usually use a full cup when you're making Maxwell House, I would use like 3/4 of a cup of ours, or maybe 80% of a cup of ours, just to tone it down a little bit. But kind of a different coffee experience with the Maxwell House. I'm just saying, it's just the reality of that. Sounds good. Yeah. I hope, I can't do mocha. Gotcha. Yeah. That won't have a mocha flavor. It'll have a hint of toffee, like very, very subtle. It's a bright cup of coffee. It's very sort of, it's like, yeah, it's a brighter one, but I would use a little bit less of it than what you would typically use, because it's just naturally going to have more flavor because it's fresher. We ground our own beans for a while. It's so much better. Agree. Yep. We grind beans every single day in this house. Carlos ordered the medium roast. That's awesome. Let's get this into the bin. Let's get Carlos's order. Thank you for letting me know, Carlos. Appreciate you. Let me reload the screen here. I see you, Carlos. We got a bag of the medium roast. Looks like we got Hooper's Creek medium roast, a bag of ground coffee. You got it. We'll get that shipped right out to you. So there we go. This is our OG. This is when we launched this coffee in April of 2023. We launched with one coffee, and it's our favorite coffee in the world, really. I mean, this is what Kim and I drank day to day from our friends at Dynamite Roasting. So this coffee company was born by me reaching out to them and saying, hey, could we do like an affiliate program where if people buy your coffee through my link, that I get a cut of the action, like a few percent of it, which is a really common thing to do, because I would go live every single morning at that point in time, and I would ship out my sales. We would talk reselling and all that stuff, and we'd always be sipping coffee together. So I reached out to Dynamite and I said, would you do affiliate marketing? And they said, we don't do that, but we do private label coffee. So we can roast coffee for you in your own bags, like your own logo, right? And you can have your own blends and all that sort of stuff too. I'm like, wow, that's pretty amazing. So yeah, one conversation led to another. We made it happen. It took us like a couple months to launch, and we launched in April of 2023 with this coffee, which is Kim and I's favorite coffee. How crazy is that? Like, I just reached out to him. I was like, it was a Hail Mary. I was like, I don't think they're going to want to do work with me. Who am I? Right. And they were like, yeah, we'd love to do that. And it's been a great partnership ever since. They've won Western North Carolina's #1 coffee roaster 12 years in a row. And actually, usually that award comes out late August. It should be right about now. So we should find out if they won for 13 years in a row, the best coffee roaster in Western North Carolina. That's as voted by the people. So anyway, that's the story. People sometimes ask me the story behind it. It started with doing a live stream and sipping coffee every morning. And the people who are watching are sipping coffee too. We used to do the live stream a little earlier. We did it at 9 a.m. So especially early on the West Coast, it'd be like 6 a.m. over there. We'd be sipping coffee together, and someone said in one of the live streams, they said, you should have your own coffee. And I said, that's ridiculous. Like, what are you talking? I don't know. What do I know about the coffee business? How am I going to? I've never even worked at a coffee shop. I worked at restaurants, but I never worked at a coffee shop, like a legit coffee shop, right? Like, how am I going to have, what am I going to do? But to partner with a company that is, they've been in business for 16 years and they've won the best coffee roaster, 12 years in a row in Western North Carolina. And they have the relationships with the farmers. They have all the equipment to roast. They really know what they're doing. And the business has really grown over the years. It's still a small business, 15 employees. So a small business in Black Mountain, North Carolina. Carlos, we'll get this out to you. Now you get to hear the whole story. Carlos, is this your first order? Anyway, this is our best-selling coffee. It always has been. And it's the coffee that Kim and I drink like 80% of the time. We have been drinking a little more dark roast lately, but typically we retreat back to this. This is our favorite coffee. Very much a straight down the middle medium roast. Nice hint of like milk chocolate that comes through. And very, very balanced cup. Coffees that come from Central America, including Mexico, tend to have like that, just a nice, smooth milk chocolate flavor to them. But very smooth, very mellow, not super peppy, just kind of like right down the middle. It's a crowd pleaser. Nobody would ever be offended by this coffee because it's just so balanced. as a coffee roaster for the last 50 years. It's a world apart. Randy, you've been roasting coffee for 50 years. That's awesome. It is nice to work with a local roaster, yeah. And they are like, they've kind of grown up, Randy. So you know the roasting business. It sounds like, they started by like roasting. They had like they could roast like a pound at a time, like a tabletop roaster, right? And then they grew and they got like a bigger roaster. And now they're on their third iteration in basically their second location, and this will be their home forever now. So they grew into a bigger place. They got one of those giant luring roasters now. And but it's still a small business, but now they have like big roaster business type of equipment, a bigger facility. Obviously their sales have scaled and all that stuff too, but small business, 15 employees, and it's still like, yeah, it's still got the bones of like a startup, right? They're just great people to work with, not pretentious at all, and that they're really involved in the community and supportive of what's going on in the community and stuff too. So just awesome people. We'll get this shipped out to you, Carlos. But now you got me talking about coffee. Well, you know how I talk about like reselling and clothing, and I can get going about that. Guess what? I can get going about coffee too. It's a fun business, and I'm certainly, Randy, you probably know 10 times as much as I know about like roasting coffee and beans and flavors and all that stuff. But I've had a fun time over the last couple of years, just sort of learning as I go and acquiring some knowledge. But I'm still a hack. I'm still an amateur. It's like a little side hustle for me. All right, come on, shipping screen. I know you can do it. For some reason, my pirate shipping screen is loading really slowly. My sister's grind there is nice. Yeah, I mean, our grinder cost us about, I think it was $80 on sale. It's kind of like a middle of the road grinder. You can spend upwards of $300-400 for a fancy grinders, but we got like a middle of the road one for $80, and we've been really happy with it. We had like a tabletop, like a blade grinder for years. We had a couple different ones. They always break and they're not as good. And then we finally got a burr grinder, which is, what we recommend too. I don't know why my pirate ship is not loading. 1 second. Kim, would you mind pulling that router out, please? Thank you. I don't know if it's the internet or if it's a pirate ship itself. I mean, I'm live streaming fine, I think. So you would think it's not the internet. Oh, here it goes. It loaded. I got your order here. I thought it was the mountain internet, which maybe was getting us, but I think it's related to the shipping platform, but it's working now. Oops, I got to put out all my packages. 1 second, y'all. Post office this year. Hey, brother, how are you? Not bad. Thanks, sir. No problem. I don't want returns. Got a return. Boo. All right, we'll get this shipping label. Carlos, you're going to have a shipping confirmation in your inbox in like 2 seconds here. And then I'll have your tracking information. It's got to go out today. We'll put it right outside. There you go. You got that email with your shipping confirmation. Faster than Bezos. Faster than Bezos. I'm now retired and help other roasters. We are the guys who invented flavored coffee. No way. Randy, you're going to have to shoot me a message. If you Google my name on Pumpkin Spice, you can see who we are. No way. That's awesome. That's awesome. I am going to do that right now. I do got to get this package out for Carlos. Thank you, Carlos. I appreciate it, brother. Really do. Randy Fatigue. Did I spell it right? I did. Same Lieutenant Colonel. Do I have that right? Do I have the right fellow? I might try. I'm going to put coffee after your name and see what happens. Okay. I think this might be a better search. I don't know. Maybe you're the same. Allenstown, Pennsylvania. Okay, cool. Different cat. Allenstown, Pennsylvania. How about it? I got a spotlight on you. Spotlight, Pennsylvania. Got a little article. It gives me some nice light reading after this live. That's awesome, Randy. I'm psyched that you're here in the live. Let me go get this out for Carlos. That's cool. Well, that's cool. Well, our job is done. We shipped out everything, including the coffee. And thank you for saying hi, Randy. Yeah, I found you now. That's pretty cool. Carlos, thank you, sir. Coffee is on the way. And everybody, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for hanging out. If you haven't tapped that like button, that helps us out too. If you haven't followed or subscribed, we're Chris at Peak on all the platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And you can go to chrisatpeak.com or just tap on my profile and you'll find the links to all that stuff too. If you haven't checked out our coffee, I encourage you to check out our coffee too. Again, that's at chrisatpeak.com or just tap on the name or there's a link down below in the description of this video. But appreciate everybody hanging out. It was fun. Hopefully you learned something today. Maybe got a little inspiration to rock and roll. Boy, we're getting really close to September 1st. You know, I'm kind of interested. I do want to close a little bit with this too. I was kind of like rustling in my brain this morning. I was like, all right, this weekend was an okay weekend for sales. It hasn't moved into like that really good, you know, where I'm starting averaging like 13, 14, 15 items sold per day, which is really what September typically represents. September, October, November is really good for me. It hasn't got there yet, and I don't expect it to, but I was, you always hope for a good weekend. So I was like, well, maybe next weekend, right? Next weekend, but next weekend is Labor Day weekend. And Labor Day weekend, those holiday weekends tend to be lower sales for me. Sometimes I'll get like a good, holiday sales weekend. You just sort of never know. Small sample size. You can always have like a banging weekend when you don't expect it. But we have an early Labor Day. It's the earliest Labor Day you could have because it's always the first Monday of the month. And guess what? September 1st is Monday. So we're going to have Labor Day weekend this weekend. So I'm not sure that this is going to be a banger weekend because typically Labor Day weekend, people are out, they're experiencing life. They're not at home sort of shopping on the internet as much. They're out, they're hiking, they're going to the beach, they're in the pool, they're doing barbecues, whatever they like to do. People are doing those things. And, the kids are off on Monday. So people are traveling, a lot of adults have Monday off too, or whatever. So people tend to travel and be on the road and maybe not be shopping as much. So I'm not expecting next weekend to be a banner weekend. But the good news about Labor Day weekend being the earliest it possibly can be is we're getting August behind us. We're getting like Labor Day behind us, and then we can get post Labor Day and look at post Labor Day sales. And typically what happens in September, it's kind of the same thing that tends to happen in March, is that as you go forward through the month, it's like the throttle, it's like a boat throttle. It gets pushed forward, slowly every day. It just tends to get a little bit better from September 1st all the way through to, and it'll probably start September 2nd, but all the way through to the end of the month. And by the time we get to September the 30th, October the 1st, you're at full speed. That throttles all the way forward. We're officially in Q4, which officially starts October 1st. And that's when people are starting to buy for the holidays, believe it or not. That's when people are buying fall items, and winter items will start picking up at that point too. So you have that change of seasons. Sorry, a phone call from an unrecognized number. So yeah, we're about to hit that. We're about to start feeling the throttle move forward. It doesn't happen all at once, right? Like for me, it's not a light switch. It's one of those things where all of a sudden I'll look back and I'll say, shoot, the last 7 days were pretty darn good. And that's usually the way it happens. It's not like all of a sudden, like a Tuesday, you're like, here we are, like the fall has arrived. It's usually you sort of look back over the past 7 or past 10 days and you're like, dang, that was pretty good. And it just sort of like starts to trend up, and we should start seeing that. So I'll see you. I haven't decided if I'm going to go live again next Monday. It just depends if we're out of town. We haven't talked about if we're going to go out of town or not for Labor Day weekend. But by the next time I see you, we should be at that point where we're starting to push that throttle forward. I did not see a pickup in sales from July into August. Some years I do, some years I don't. Every year I have a different mix of inventory. Every year people are shopping for different things. It's hard to predict, but I pretty much I'm probably going to beat July by a couple of units and by maybe a couple $100. I mean, I'm pretty flat to July as things stand right now. So I know a lot of people say like July is the slowest month. I don't know. Sometimes June's my slowest month. Sometimes July is my slowest month in the summer. Sometimes August is. February is consistently slow, but the summertime, my slowest month can be one of those three, and it changes every year. It looks like it's going to be July this year. August is trending a little bit better, but we're talking like a few extra units, maybe 6 or 10 extra units, and maybe, an extra 4 or 5, $600 in sales. So I've been pretty flat in August. Of course, it can finish strong too. It could be a really good week, and I hope it is. But that upturn should be coming. So without further ado, that's my thoughts on that. I know people like to talk about slow season, busy season, and they like to hear some words of encouragement about that. And that's my honest thoughts about what happens, and that's my experience year after year. Is September, it just kind of it gets better as the month goes on. It's usually not September 1st things go wild. It just gets better. Anything we need to do in preparation for this weekend is resellers. I don't know. I'm not sure. List stuff. I would list stuff. I think. I don't know what you're getting at. Maybe with Q4 starting and jackets and both your items need to be shipped. Can you give your advice on with Q4 starting and jackets and both your items need to be shipped? Can you give your advice on shipping these items? Can you give your advice for shipping the bulkier jackets and coats in Q4 as it ramps up? Get bigger poly bags. So that, I think the shipping's all the same. It's just a bigger item. So you'll need a bigger poly bag. So typically I ship most shirts and shorts will fit in this 9x12 poly bag. But a lot of jeans and sweatshirts and sweaters and hoodies require a little bit of a bigger bag. So this is a 15x12. And then when you start getting into like blazers and suits and winter jackets, sometimes you need something that's a little bit bigger. And this one right here is a 14.5x19. So yeah, I don't think there's really a difference in terms of you're just doing the same thing. You just might need a bigger vessel for it. And I'll give you a visual on these three kind of stacked on top of each other so you can get an idea of what we're talking about here. I have these all linked in my recommended reseller supplies, and I tell you exactly what I use each of these sizes for. So if you don't remember all those numbers, the 9x12, the 15x12, and the 14.5x19, just go to this link right here that I'm going to drop below in the chat, and it will share with you all the tools I use and a direct link to how to purchase good, reliable. That's not it. And there it is. And you can purchase like good, reliable, high quality shipping materials. And these are the different sizes that I use. So hopefully that helps answer your question about shipping bigger items. It's the same. You just might need a different vessel. As you continued talking, my questions became irrelevant. Got it. Yeah, I mean, I don't really do anything different from season to season. I just list consistently every day and continue to source good, high quality, in demand items. And if some of you who have been following me for a while know that right now is typically a good time to start getting things everybody's thrift stores tend to be a little bit different. But right now in my local thrift stores, what they're doing is they're bulking up their jackets, like in their winter clothing stuff, which is awesome. But consumers aren't really, like here in the area, aren't really buying like winter jackets, and like they haven't really transitioned to that yet. They might be buying sweaters and jeans and flannels more, but they're not really buying winter stuff. It's just not that cold. And it doesn't get that cold for a couple more months. But the stores are stocking it up, which means there's an opportunity for me to go and find the really good stuff because people aren't really shopping it all that much. So that might be true in your stores too. There might be an opportunity here over the next few weeks to get some really good jackets, blazers, suits, because they've expanded that section and they've taken away, they don't devote as much space this time of year to shorts, into like swim trunks and short sleeve shirts. They shrink that section and expand the more wintertime section. So right now, as they're filling that up with fresh inventory, because they've opened up more space, so there's a ton of fresh inventory, I can poach some really good jackets and stuff like that. And then what's going to happen after that, once the locals, the consumers start buying the jackets and all that, Then I'm going to switch back and I'll actually start getting some really good like short sleeves and really good shorts because people aren't shopping those sections. So I'll start getting those for a few weeks. And then that sort of dies off because when nobody's buying that stuff, then all that stuff just sits on racks. So then most of the winter, I won't be able to find good short sleeve shirts and good shorts. That it's like these like opportunities come with like these couple weeks batches as they move around the store. And I can attack those opportunities, but your stores might be different, but that's my experience around here. Do you have the jacket or a large item in its own Ziploc type of bag inside the poly bag when you send it? Um, I have two size bags. These are linked at that same document. I have two size clear bags, both linked. You can see the difference in size. I forget the measurements on these, but they're in that document. So there you go. All the stuff that I use to ship is in that document. That's how I reorder too. It's like a little reordering list for me, and it's recommendations for y'all. All right, that's all I got. I enjoyed everybody's time today. Boy, shipping's a lot more fun when I get to. I mean, I'd be talking to myself about reselling and coffee anyway. It's great that there's somebody here to listen. It makes it a lot more fun. And so thanks y'all for being here, hanging out for a little bit. Hopefully you learned something new, and if not, maybe you cracked half a smile or something like that. I'll see you, I think, probably next week. Next week's Labor Day. There will be no shipping on Monday, like no post office pickup. So I'm not sure if we're going to be out of town or not. We haven't had that conversation. We tend to be pretty last minute with that sort of thing. But I will see you again soon. I hope you have an awesome week moving ahead. And remember, all these lives are available as a replay. So if you're just joining in, you're like, oh, crap, I missed everything. As soon as I end this live, you can go back and you can watch the recording. You can fast forward through the boring stuff, rewind to the stuff that you're like, oh, that was good. I got to watch that one. But we did ship out about 22 orders today. Tons of pants. Definitely a fall transition has already happened. It is not like we're transitioning into fall selling season. Fall selling season has arrived. It is here. So that happened. So if you want to rewatch and see everything that sold, you can. We had some great sales, a lot of pants, a lot of Carhartt bottoms for some reason. So, but yeah, I had a lot of fun today. I hope you guys did too. Hope you learned a little something new. Have you used or are you familiar with eProfit app? I'm not. I've never even heard of it. I'm not familiar with it. Sorry, I can't help with that one. Got to replay. Ted, appreciate all your comments and stuff. I see you on Facebook commenting on videos and photos. Appreciate it.